Hey everyone, it's time for another funsy video while Guild Wars is kind of on the down low as we are in preseason. Um, I'll be honest, Guild War videos when there is no stake, not the steak you eat, but when there are no stakes basically, it's kind of boring. So I might just skip ahead to Wednesday and Friday Guild Wars, or most Guild Wars, unless it's actually cool defenses and all. However, I have plans for more videos outside of Guild Wars. And one of those is going to be my PvE and, that's coming at a later date, PvP tier list. So today, as the title suggests, we'll be talking about the latest PvE tier list. Now, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of PvE in this game. I feel like it's a waste of resources, in my opinion, and Smygate should put more effort into PvP. For example, by giving us a third pre-ban option in RTA or removing 15% absolute resistance. But those are nitpicks reserved for the PvP tier list. Let's talk about PvE because Smygate does have some stakes in PvE. We've seen it with the Orbis Gladiatorum, we've seen this with Trials of Constellation, the Strategic Cringe Archive, and what have you. So lots of PvE content to be done. And we'll be checking out what units especially are the best for PvE. Now let me activate display capture for this one, as I am going to live make a PvE tier list. Now as you can tell, I've divided this into 5 subsets. The best, well, the very obvious units are going to be in excellent choices. The niche, you might find some units in the niche tier that are still very excellent or the best in that niche, but still it's niche and rarely used, and you don't bother, meaning they're never used. All right, so the RAS version, whoops, is not best, it's niche. RAS has a few uses, mainly in expeditions, to some degree, but even then I would argue RAS isn't that good anymore. I could also put him in rarely used. He was niche back when the Nightmare Labyrinth was used. He was good for one of the bosses. I'd say rarely used. Cecilia, on the other hand, is still a niche character because she is being used in the Blooming Lich. What's it called? Expedition. She is still one of the better units for that one, so I'll put her niche. She's not excellent, she's not the best, certainly, but she's niche because she has that one niche where she functions. I forgot her name. Rose, yeah, Rose, not used. Silk, not used. Meru, she's excellent. She's a free unit, and she's still being used in quite... Well, actually, no. She isn't used that much anymore. She's niche. She's also only used in Blooming Lich. I haven't used it ever outside of that. Yeah, I was still thinking about Nightmare Lab from 2 years ago, but she's not used anymore outside of Blooming Lich. So yeah, you could. It's debatable where you put Judge Kisei or Kisei. I would say don't bother. Same for Green Wildred. You could make an argument that Green Wildred is still being used for quick farming, lobotomy for a Saint, for example, where you just put in Green RB, Moonlight RB, and 2 dual attack units such as Conqueror Lilias and I forgot the name, Camilla, but honestly, rarely used. Armin, don't bother. Red, Charlotte, don't bother. I forgot his name even, don't bother. Karen, don't bother. Corvus, don't bother. Katusha, don't bother. Sid, don't bother. Ball, same deal as Cecilia and Meru, used in Blooming Lich. Yufin, don't bother. But here we are at a unit that very often sees use. And especially because the use isn't tied to a single mode, such as Trials of Constellation or Trials of Halls of Trials. That was the other name. Because Arcades, the red version of Arcades, more just so to say, is still being used quite often. Halls of Trials, she's used very often. There is a point to be made. Free-to-plays used her in Trials of Constellation. And she's all around a decent unit just to have for PvE content. So, excellent choice here. Her name, I forgot. Red Ravi. I've never seen her used. This Shuri version, the red Shuri, never used. Dingo, never used. I'll put her in rarely used. You can make things work with her in PvE content, but I wouldn't count on it. I don't know why Kairon is twice on this list, but here we are. Aesaria, the green version. She used to be used more often, especially in Nightmare Lab, but these days I have not seen her being used once. On the other hand, Charles is being used in Trials of Constellation against the blue boss. So we'll put him in niche, trial content. Her, she's not used. I forgot this guy's name. Yuna, certainly not used. Lotz, not used. Maya, not... What is her name, Maya? I don't know. Yeah, it is. F. Maya is the Moonlight version. Kali, this Kali version in particular, not used. Strays, niche. Why niche? Because he's used in one-shot teams for hunts. It's debatable whether you put him into excellent or niche. I'll put him in niche content because hunt is the only way you want to play him. If he were used in other contents, Hall of Trials, yes, I understand there was one particular Hall of Trials against Torsetti where he was used, but that's been long gone, and most of the times, especially with the recent changes to Halls of Trials, I don't see Strays coming back unless they make an effort to make him come back. Alright, so the next few ones, never used. Blue says, I guess rarely used for Automaton Tower, for example, where he does work quite well. Haste never used, Cyrilla never used, Tywin never used, Roman never used, Mui, sadly, I wish she could be used. Red Lydica, I have to think, I believe very rarely used, could be something that we keep in mind, because if I'm not totally mistaken, there was one challenge Abyss trial where you want Red Lydica. I don't know which state it was, but I remember it was against a Lydica variant where you want to push her up. And that is what Red Lydica is for, so very rarely used in that case. Ken not used, Araminthra, also not used anymore. Chloe used to be a good hunt unit. Nowadays, hunts are so easy, you don't need her anymore. Tenebria, the red one in particular, also Blooming Lich, a very good unit for that. Bazaar never used, Drin never used. Very rarely used Genua. Actually, no, don't bother. For PvE, Genua has no merit. Schneel, I would have given him the rarely used one, but ever since the removal of Nightmare Lab, I've never seen him being used ever again. Angelica, rarely used. For hunts, for early beginner players, yes, she might be something you keep in mind, but I don't think you need her. I could also put it just in Don't Bother. Yeah, I'll put in Don't Bother because there are units coming that are so much better than Angelica. Sorin, Don't Bother. Luna, the blue one, Don't Bother. Tamarin, one of the best. She's used in a huge amount of content. She is free, which is one of the best parts of her, and she's just an excellent unit overall for PvE. The queen of PvE, so to say. Green Ludwig, he has his place in Challenge Abyss. I believe there's one stage where it's super free when you use him, so might as well put him in there. Blue Crow, Don't Bother. Bellona used to be really good for some hunts. Nowadays she's not. Same with Sigrid. For newer players, I can make a I can make I can make a point for putting Blue Sigrid into rarely used, because she can be used very briefly. So, at the very beginning of your Epic 7 journey in the Wyvern hunt, but once you get access to Fene, once you get access to Breek, um, you immediately stop using Sigrid. So I'll put them rarely used, but that's about it. Kaverick and Violet never used. Dien is a limited unit, we don't bother with those. Sermia used to be really good for Golem Hunt, but with units such as Victorica, she's also not used very much. Pavel not used. Cerise has a niche content with Moreau in Expeditions. Blue Luluka, don't rarely used. She's one of those that can be used for Wyvern Hunt as an AoE option for Deathbreak, etc. But that's about it. Xeno, not used. These two, I could put Furious into rarely used. Wyvern Hunt being the king here. Same for Vivian, who still, who was for a very long time was used in Banshee Hunt and Kaidos Hunt. So I guess you could make a point in giving her the rarely used one. Lilias was used mainly back in the day for Nightmare Lab. Nowadays she's not. Same for Ray. Same thing. Elena never used. These three units from Guilty Gear. I forgot his name, Bacon, and I forgot her name too. They are not used anymore. Same for her as well as Melissa. Bombardo Kana isn't reused much. I've seen a few uses for Blooming Lich, but I find Tenebria and Baal better than this. Laika not used. Yeah, she is used for the Blue Constellation. In all fairness, I probably should put her in niche content because I put Charles in and Laika fits the same directive here. Alencia not used anymore. Shrew not used anymore. Both will prime targets for Nightmare Lab, but nowadays they're not used. Alfeld is not used anymore. Ruana, excellent choice. Ruana still to this very day is a very good unit. She will carry you throughout lots of contents, and especially those in the Abyss, for example, and Challenge Abyss, as well as trials, the Blue Trial of Constellation. She's very good in those. So excellent choice. You should build her once again. Celine, very used, but still a good DPS. Mort, I'll put him in rarely used. There are some challenges where anti-counter could be good. So Mort fits those. Don't bother with Senya, she's not that good. Kizuna Ai not used. Ervalen not used. I'll put Landy in rarely used, but you get her for free as a new player, so she's not the worst. You get her for free at plus 15, you get optimal gear for her. She will carry you throughout your journey. And technically speaking, now that I think about it, newer players, she will carry you for quite a while. But compared to the units that are still coming on this list, she doesn't compare well to those in the first three lists or first three tiers. So let's put her rarely used, even though she is used quite often and will carry newer players. Flan rarely never used, Ida never used, Polly isn't used in PvE, Eleanor isn't used in PvE, Rem isn't used in PvE, Ram isn't used in PvE, Emilia isn't, Bellion isn't, Ran isn't, Zahak isn't anymore, Milim, Rimuru, Shuna aren't used, Arunka isn't used unless you want to count Rift, but there are better options than that. Payra is not used. Sadly, Lua isn't used anymore. She was also very good to have in Nightmare Lab. Tenyu isn't used. Hua isn't used. Arya isn't used anymore. So many units fall out of this category. Jacko isn't used much. Yulha isn't used. Sharoon isn't used. Zio isn't used. Edward not. I forgot his name. Rika, Hawkeye, the Esper girls, Karina, Ning Ning, Winter, and Giselle aren't used anymore. Not ever. I believe Karina had some usage, but it quickly faded away. So these Esper units never really saw the day. Bihu, on the other hand, niche content. He is very good for Trials of Constellation. So that's fine. Abigail and Amit rarely used in PvE. Breek, though, one of the best, if not the best, choices for PvE players, used in a plethora of content. He's incredibly good to have. Elegos, don't bother. Same with Benimaru, although Benimaru has a few good uses, but those are limited to PvE content. Fumia, sadly not used. Evira, not used. Veronica isn't used. Neither is. Actually, let's move Naquil into the rarely used, because she does see play in trials of in halls of trials whenever Hasedi is around. Hasedi has the dispel mechanic. We've used Naquil a fair amount already, so it's fair to say that she has a rare usage in that case. Kane, trash unit. Hasedi, not used in PvE. She doesn't even work in PvE. Biblis, rarely used. The Overlord units, Albedo, Eins, and Shaltir, never used. Niche content. Fenris does have his place in the expedition against the blue boss. So very niche in that sense. Laia, not used. Brigitte, not used. Rarely used for Monkey, Wukong, Rift, so to say. Niche content for young Senya. She's primarily used in also the blue trial of Constellation, where you use Charles, for example, and Rana. So very good character in that sense. Frida, not used. Victorica, rarely used. I would say rarely is just Hans, in this case, the Golem Hunt for early players. Renak, not used in PvE, even though she's a super strong character in PvP. Robin, on the other hand, rarely used. By rarely, because she does have it. Actually, no, I put Charles in here. So niche content trials, the green trial of Constellation is where Robin shines. Fanny, the best. Easily on par when it comes to healing and overall sustainability, but giving the damage output that oomph, because not only does Fanny heal a lot, she also deals a tremendous amount of damage. So she's one of the best, if not the best of the best. And the best part is Fanny is free. You get it for free when you just play the game, and you also get good gear for her. Incredible unit, you should have her. Tauri, don't bother for PvE. Now, when I was thinking about this tier list, I was always thinking about how will I rate Frieren, because Frieren is a collab unit, and you can't get her anymore. But that doesn't take away the fact that Frieren is an excellent unit for PvE. She trivializes pretty much all the content that isn't super tied to specific mechanics such as Trials of Constellation or Halls of Trials. But everything else, Frieren immediately trivializes. The entirety of Abyss or Challenge Abyss you can do with Frieren. And most hunts, Frieren will just carry you. So yeah, she's an excellent unit. Could be the best. Wouldn't put it past me to put her in here, but I think she's just excellent. I don't want to oversell Frieren because she does have her weaknesses. And she's limited, so she's excellent. Fern, on the other hand, don't bother, she's not used. Neither is Stark. Setsuka doesn't really work in PvE content. Genesis Ras. free unit, free Moonlight 5-star unit, and he's all around amazing in PvE. Especially Hans. FCC, nope. Shadow Rose, nope. I forgot her name, but she's not used. This Meru variant isn't used. Judge Kise isn't used. RB, rarely used. Same deal as the other Wildred version. It's fine. Caramel not used. Charlotte, little Queen Charlotte not used. Forgot his name, not used. Karen not used. Corvus not used. Katusha not used. Assassin Sid not used. Sage Ball not used. Abyssal Free not used. I'll put Shooting Star Arcades in the don't bother. Here she had a few usages, but these days you don't need her. She's not used. Apoc isn't used anymore. Rarely used for Watcher Shuri. You can use them in one-shot teams. But yeah, actually, if I put Strays into this tier, I should put Watcher Shuri in this tier as well. Just for consistency's sake, because Watcher Shuri and Strays are very nicely used in conjunction with each other when you want to one-shot Wyvern, Banshee, and whatnot. So, point to be made. Good choice, though. Alright, Blaze Dingo not used. Destina, rarely used, I'd say. Karen not used. Briar not used. Same for Metal Gear Solid version of Charles. I forgot his name. Kitty Clarissa was used. Nightmare Lab, not anymore. He's not used anymore. Alots isn't used. Fighter Maya isn't used anymore. Dark Collie isn't used. He isn't used. Moondom not. Spess, though, is being used for Trials of Constellation, so that's why he fits in this category. Blood Moon Haste isn't used. Tywin not. Broman isn't. Faithless not. Marshall cannot, SBA isn't, Maid Chloe rarely used. You could make arguments that she has with some usages, but not that many. Spectre, Tenebria, and DJB don't have any uses anymore. Rin doesn't anymore. Sinji doesn't anymore. She used to be a good option for hunts, especially Wyvern hunt, but not anymore. Tempest Turin not. Moonlight Luna doesn't really work with Seal in PvE, so it's useless. Ella Ludwig not used. LRK not used. I'll put LCB in rarely used. She lost a lot of power when Smygate changed her damage and the way she works to evasion, and her main damage now stacking through injuries on the enemy. That really dampened her usability in PvE, because before her buff/nerf for PvE, I put in excellent, but these days she's just rarely used anymore. Alright, Opsic, not used. Kaveric, Mediatic Kaveric. I put him in excellent. He's still a good unit for PvE all around, so why not? Moonlight Violet and Moonlight Sermon not used. Neither is Commander Pavel. Flop Model isn't used. Kabasa isn't used. She isn't used. Furious, Moonlight Furious isn't used. Conk and Sylvia. I forgot her name. Sylvia aren't used. DDR isn't used. Moonlight Eleanor isn't used. Dilibet isn't used. Architect Leica not. Moonlight Shu isn't. Moonlight Rana isn't as well. Moonlight Celine also not seeing very much use. Landy and Bright Senya, the Moonlight units, neither used. Pirate Flan isn't used. Solitaria not. Sea Phantom is used, rarely used in the guild. Ancient Inheritance, that's where she shines the most. So we'll pick her for that. Same applies to Kaveric, by the way, Moonlight Kaveric over here. Also very often used when you pick the Dark Element, for example, in Ancient Inheritance. Ill enough, not used in PvE. I personally use Bossa Runka for Wyvern Hunt, but she's not needed. I'll put her very rarely used though. Same for Lone Wolf Para. She does have her usages because she provides a lot of tempo. Can be good, but not necessarily super needed. I probably rarely used. Lua, not used. Teo, not used. Huayong, not used. Arya isn't used. Sharoon has her niche in Trials of Constellation, the light trial, no, the dark trial, was it? That's where you want to use her. She's decent for that. Aiden not used. This guy isn't used. Terran, oh god, was being used a lot back in the day, but not anymore. So yeah. I forgot her name. Falconer Clury, I believe. Arowell, not used. Syphilis, not used. Basque isn't used. We'll skip all these 3 and 4 stars. They're all not used anymore. Tierra is okay-ish, but not used. Alright. Chlorina. Chlorina is a niche usage. Hazel. It's not the so Hazel. Mascot Hazel is an excellent choice. She's permanently used in Halls of Trials as well as other contents. So she's very good. I don't know why they don't have a specialty change version here. Unless it's still coming and I'm just not seeing it. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I found her. So that's the correct version. You don't need the other one. So Mascot Hazel is still very good in this day and age. So I'll put in excellent. All right, Adelaide not used. Doris, I hope that the other Doris is somewhere in here because she is still being used. These, on the other hand, aren't used at all, so I'll quickly brush over them. None of them fit any role anymore. I'm not seeing the specialty changed Doris right now. So don't sweat it, all of those that I'm just skimming over right now. Actually, wait. I forgot her name, but she has niche usage in Ancient Inheritance. What was her name? Inos. Yeah, Inos. The specialty changed Inos. She has a niche usage in that case. Alright. Christy. Rarely used. Camilla. Niche content. She's not used. Penelope. Not used. Not used. Not used. Not used. Not used. Also not. Yeah, we are bottom of the barrel scraping here. Amiki. Not used in PvE at least. None of these are as well. There's Arowell. Where's the other Arowell that I put? I'll just put her in this case though, because none of them really see any play in PvE. Oh, there's the actual Chlorina, so let's put her in and put this one out because she's not specialty changed. Momo. Oh, there's Doris. So Momo rarely used, and Doris, we wanted to put her in this tier, I believe. Unless I'm mistaken. This list has gotten so big that I lost track, but yeah, Doris is fine in that case. Alright, let's move on real quick. There's the correct Inos and the correct... so we can put this down here because Christy belongs over here. And where's the other Inos? Inos, I put her in this tier, and there she goes. All the Aiden variants aren't seeing any use anymore. Same for Ras. Where did I put Ras? I put them in here. So let's change their positioning. Where's Ras now? I just tell him. Oh, there he is. All right. So Ras over here. Meru not used. Yufin, these are all not used in PvE content. Flan, very rarely used. Whoopsie. Okay, now I lost Flan. Somewhere. There he is. Rarely used. You can do a lot of damage with her if you have her. She's a limited unit, also keep that in mind. Alright, Festivida, not really much used. Leafy, not much used. Aram, also, yeah, you can reset stuff, niche content, I'd say. Not used. Scales isn't used in PvE, surprisingly. Light Arcades, not much used. I personally use her in Trials of Constellation, but Muldum, rarely used. Spectre, Witch not used. Yilha, niche, I'd say. You could put it in excellent, could work. But for the most part, enemies usually have that much HP, you don't really need her. So I'd put it in niche. Saria, not really used. Hekat, not really used. Racist Secret, not really used. Dien, I don't use her that much, or haven't seen many people use her that much. Aki isn't used. Iseria not. Ruiza, complete failure where you're in a tactical collie isn't. Notos, rarely. He can be used, but Same for Biblis. Salome, though, excellent choice. Salome is really good in a lot of PvE scenarios, and she does help you because she just copies a character of yours and you can just do stuff. So, yeah, she does work well. Estelle, also excellent unit. She's super tanky and allows you to do stuff you most likely couldn't survive. I keep in mind, very recent unit, so it's always a little bit iffy, but she's an excellent unit in PvE. Ivana, though, isn't. RNL. RNL is. It's hard to judge right now. I'll put her in probably excellent. Not sure if she's actually that excellent. But I suppose she could be really good. And Obeyed, don't bother. And yeah, that's the list. So we have 4 really, really strong units. In that case, with Fene, Tamarin, Breek, and Genesis Ras, and luckily for everybody, those are free units. You get all 4 for free, and you can make them work tremendously well in PvE, which is great. Yeah, that pretty much sums up today's video for my PvE tier list. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see each other next time. Bye bye.